Welcome back to the channel, guys and gals. My name is Norman, also known as King Julian, here on this channel. So today, while we were at Hobby Lobby, and of course we did make a run by McDonald's. Son wanted to play at McDonald's and get some lunch, so that was fun. I had a subscriber reach out to me, ask me a question that needed to be answered. And he's a good friend of mine for 30 plus years by the name of Tommy Gordon. And he said, Norm, he goes, I've been around trains, HO mostly, seen some N, been around G scale from you and your dad, and O scale. He said, Norm, what the hell is a mid flange? He goes, I've never heard of this. Okay, so that's the only question on that. Mid flange wheel sets are very, very interesting because it was kind of a crossover between if you wanted to run both 2-rail or in 3-rail. And they were actually pretty prevalent to get at one time. A company by the name of Intermountain Trains actually made them. I believe Walters made them too for a little while. So let's look at the differences between several different styles of flanges. This one right here, as you can see, is a Lionel wheel set. Okay, see how deep that flange is right there? That is one deep flange. Lionel started doing that because of the tubular track, and it's just something that has stuck and has worked out great. I mean, we're looking at almost 100 years of Lionel. That wheel has worked out great for almost 100 years. Why change it, right? The next one was made by Walters, and this is one that they call, it's a plastic wheel, plastic and metal shaft down through here. You can move this in or out just a little bit to gauge it, to make sure the gauge is right on. But it's got, again, a deep wheel set. Not as deep as Lionel, but deep. So that way you can run it on 3-rail without having issues. Very smart thinking on their part. Now the next one that we want to look at is one that is actually a mid flange, and this was made by Intermountain. This is an old wheel I got, but it works. So here we go. This is a mid flange. Okay, this means it's not as deep as a Lionel, but not as shallow as a 2-rail. Make sure I'm grabbing the right one here. Yeah. So this is the 2-rail. Notice how deep or how shallow that flange is. That is a little bit of a difference when you stack them. Okay. So this would be considered a fine scale 2-rail, which I have seen some people turn those down. I don't recommend it because you're taking off literally 1 centimeter. You're not doing anything. This is a mid flange. Now this mid flange right here, you do have a little extra room here. You can take off 1 centimeter off of this and be just fine, and make that flange just a little deeper if you want to. And you, of course, stick it in the lathe and turn it. Seen it done. Again, fine scale. Very, very shallow flange. For 2-rail O scale, it works out great. Alright, now here's one that was made by a company called K-Line. Not the K-Line manufacturer you think of that Lionel now owns. No, this was called K-Line. K-Lein or something like that, I believe it was. And then, of course, K-Line Trains Line or something like that. And these were plastic and metal. Not real heavy. In a minute, I'll get it. Not real heavy, but they worked out great for 2-rail. That lip right there, you do have some room to turn it. This already has not really a mid flange on it, but it does have some room to re-gauge it, and it also has some room to turn it a little bit if you want to around the edges. And there are a couple different ways you can do that. You can put it in a lathe, turn it down 1 centimeter, and that'll give you a different, little bit different right here. Will change the profile of the wheel as far as on the track, but not by much. Nothing that you would be noticeable with. but it does make a difference on this flange back here because it makes it deeper, and that would turn it into a mid flange. Or you can put it in a drill, and this is the tricky part. If you put it in a drill, to do this, then you have to have a file, and you're going to have to run it a couple of times around and then turn around and measure this out and mic it and make sure that you're not going over what you want. So if you do that with one of these, make sure you're dead on, because both sides have to be even when you do it. Yes, I have plenty of these from when I had purchased lots for the casting itself. Just got a ton of these things left over. I may do an experiment, see if I can make that work, or sell them. Don't know. But yes, so there's lots of stuff that you can do right there. Again, I've been in the industry since I was 2 years old. I've been on both sides of the fence, both as a buyer and a seller. Worked in his manufacturing business, and worked very closely with my father and his business partner, John Allen, casting parts, turning wheels, sanding, packaging, blackening, painting, building. I've done it all right there. That whole company in G-Scale doing museum quality trains. So yes, those are some differences in what they call mid-flange wheel. So I hope this answers the question that was asked, and hopefully everything will continue on and people will start recognizing more of a mid-flange, and we can start doing some versatile stuff. But as of right now, we're just going to keep rocking and rolling the way we are. As always, keep the shiny side rubber down. I will see you on the next video, probably tonight. We might do a short or something like that. I don't know. And just kind of keep going. We'll see y'all then. Take it easy. Have a wonderful day.